how would you define Indigenous people?
Comes way more than the accessory, you know, it's way more than the color of your skin. Oh, someone who's a white-skinned person can't be Indigenous. They're Indigenous to somewhere on the world. That's true though. Everyone's Indigenous to somewhere on the world. Like Christianity, when they're like, oh, your birth is a sin, a lot of people live their reality with the perception that them even being there is not right. There's something wrong with that. Opposed to an Indigenous person that this land needs me to exist.
This is my message to you. Your energy is infinite. Your energy.
Welcome back to Living Good with Dom, where we don't just talk about culture, we sit down with the creators who shape it. Today's guest is a game changer, a visionary, and a creative powerhouse who's redefining what it means to leave a legacy. You know him as Stay Relevant, but the man behind the movement is Malcolm Emillion, a true artist, based between the cultural capitals of Los Angeles and Toronto. Malcolm isn't just out here creating art, he's creating experiences, elevating energy, and shifting paradigms. This man's work isn't something you just look at, it's something you feel. Whether he's designing medicinal tools, artifacts, or functional accessories for sacred spaces, Malcolm's mission is clear: to elevate, inspire, and bring intentional living into every corner of life. He's got a vibe so unique you can't put him in a box. One day he's channeling the cosmos into his creations. The next he's holding it down on a platform like the Black Don't Crack podcast, dropping gems about self-care, energy work, and his global journey from Toronto to the world stage. This is a man who doesn't just stay relevant, he's out here leading the pack. Yeah. So buckle up, because Malcolm Emillion is here to bring the heat. We're diving deep into his art, his energy, and his philosophy on how to live with intention, purpose, and power. Y'all ready for this? Let's go. What's good, brother?
Thanks. That was, you know, yeah.
Yeah, you deserve that, brother. You deserve that. What's good, man?
Man, I'm grateful, man. Everything is everything right now. Just the present moment just feels so charged right now.
It does, right?
Being here, you know, full circle moments with you, just being in LA, everything that's happening in the present time, you know, right now, it's just a lot going on. So to be still and share some time, I'm hyped. I'm inspired, you know, I'm inspired.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. How was the day for you today?
Today was smooth. Today was mellow. I actually started off with some real good oatmeal. Like I make porridge all the time, but today the porridge hit different, you know. Flowing into that, I felt like I had my little smoothie, my drink. The sun's been shining a lot recently, but it was real windy today.
It was
real windy.
It felt charged outside today.
I heard something happened in the skies. There's something somewhere was happening. It was real windy today. But other than that, I spent some time inside, working on some stuff that I wanted to finish up, and then just made it out here, just easing in the day. Today been feeling like just real mellow, real natural. It's a Tuesday or what? Yeah.
That's vibes. What's the piece on your chest?
The Wachuma. This right here is so this beadwork right here. I got this one in Colombia, representing the Wachuma, the cactus. You know, also known as peyote, San Pedro. There's a few different ones. But really just an affirmation of the medicine. It's almost like, you know, when you wear a name tag letting people know what you do. This is almost just like letting people know that I'm there for if they need me in that way. You know what I'm saying? That's like dope. A medicinal tag to let people know that, you know, you're able to engage and share information and wisdom in that space.
Yo, I remember the first time I heard the word plant-cestors.
Yes,
man. Just for those who are listening, plant ancestors, like plant and ancestors combined.
That's it.
When you said it, when I saw it on the shirt, you had a shirt that said plant ancestors.
Yeah.
You gave me that shirt. I still got it.
It was also vibes, for real.
Yeah, and you said, and I remember being like, yo, that just make mad sense. You know, sometimes you just click. And like, and these plants been here forever. There's like wisdom in these plants.
No, that's real. That's that's kind of even where that came from, just me working with the plants and just incorporating plants into so many different aspects of my life, and realizing that a lot of the wisdom, a lot of the uploads that I'm getting, are often in nature, or are often when with the tea, or just with plants in general, watering the plants, planting some food, all of that. So it's like, yo, is the ancestors communicating to me through the plants? Are they plant-cestors? You know what I'm saying? It all just happened real naturally. And it was really interesting too, because what that actually came from was before that, I had seed and tribe.
Okay.
Seed and tribe. And that was like the original movement that I moved with like, it was stay relevant, and then seed and tribe had a lot of my, like, all the other medicinal work under it. And then I was with this one elder, and he was like, we not tribes, like they divided the nations into tribes and called us tribes amongst and all this thing. And I think he said that to me one day, and I was like, well, I guess I guess we're done with that, you know what I'm saying? And even though I'm like, not many people gonna know that information, but at the same time, it's like, once you see something, you can't unsee it. You know what I was like, all right, so what else? And then plant ancestors just came to me really naturally, and it's been something where, like you just said, that spark moment, like, oh shoot, this is something it's bigger than rap. It's bigger than me. It's bigger than how it sounds. It's like a real global stamp that can be used to really decolonize a lot of the perspectives around all of indigenous thought and indigenous medicine, and just on a whole, So when I really took a step forward to look at that on a broader scale, it's just I'm just carrying that torch right now, and just allowing it to bring light to certain spaces. Because as soon as you say that plant, it's like the light bulb goes off, right? So it's like taking it, making it into different things that are functional, accessories that we can use every day, and just putting the plant ancestor reminder. So also reaffirming, like restoring things, anything upcycling, regenerative. It's like we're using like what plants do, you know what I'm saying? Plants just regenerate themselves. So yeah, it's really just been an expression that came really naturally, really clear, and give thanks.
Yeah, give thanks. Yo, on that note, two things I want to pull out of that real quick. I was talking to somebody recently, and it was like, yo, the rocks hold the memory of Earth. And I was like, and that's another one that just stuck out as true. I'm like, yo, this is a big rock we sitting on. Everything that's been happening has happened on this same piece of Earth. Like that vibration would be. That's another thing that I was just like, yeah, that's crazy. I never passed just a regular rock and been like, what's up, homie? No, that's not true. That's not true. Back when I was in New York,
you said tapping into the rocks.
Oh, I did, homie. There was
yeah.
There was a park in East New York, Brooklyn. There was like 4 or 5 rocks that were just clustered. It looked like a wise council type seating, Okay. And then I went there and I was just chilling one day. And I was like, yeah, I was just connecting with the rocks. I put it that way.
There's that moment in life too when like crystals and rocks, you have this, you can differentiate them, because for your whole life everything is rocks.
Everything is rocks.
And you're like,
it's a rock.
Wait, like if this is a crystal, that means it's like you give a rock more value too, because you're like, oh, so then this is where everything that's not a crystal is in the rock, and in the stone, right? The sedimentary stone. Yeah, man, the rocks is, sheesh. Rocks is there.
Yo, you said something in the beginning, which I think, we do this podcast, and the goal is to pull out the nuggets of wisdom, right?
Of course.
But you said something which I've been playing with in my career, in my teachings lately, but I'm hearing the language spoken more in the mainstream, and you put it to language. You said, pulling indigenous wisdoms out.
Yeah, and putting them on the front line.
Putting them on the front line.
Yeah.
And I feel like the world is asking for that kind of knowledge right now. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Why do you think that is?
I feel with all the information we have access to right now, people want to know. And when you're being flooded with so much information in a digital space, what's left is you wondering like, well, what is there for me to know outside of this space? And I think that's where indigenous thought comes to play, because just how indigenous people have chosen to navigate to this present day has been like a parallel existence to how technology and everything has evolved. But the simplicity of the indigenous movement and presence on this earth is something that like all the complexities and conveniences that come with technology still can't achieve. You know what I'm saying? So then it's when you see all these things happening in the world right now, and then you realize indigenous people have been doing these things for a very long time. It just reminds you of how many times we're discredited and not placed in the proper narrative of the origins of these things because of the institutions whose foundations are standing on the lie. You know what I like? It's like I was trying to find another word for it. You know, I like call them straight out on the lie, but sometimes you gotta kind of
ominous too. The lie.
You know what I'm saying? And
No, but that's real though.
And that's really what it is. Even when you think about like in like museums, like why they got museums in every part of the world is because people need that physical interaction. They need to see something and like be able to physically connect with it. And when you see indigenous people, the way they dress, the scents you're getting to interact with, the sounds you're getting to interact with, you're getting that experience, you know? And that's why I think like just bringing that to the front line now has the highest currency on the planet, because that's the one thing you can't pay for. That's the one thing that the AI can't prompt into a design for you. You know what I'm saying? It's already there, and it's been for so long that its foundations are set that the more we choose to represent, you know, the presence of indigenous people around the world, it's more or less just reclaiming what it is all the things are emulating. You know, when you think of Egyptology, when you think of, you know, Scientology, when you think of all these different things that are emulating an origin story, you know, like there's an origin story, then there's all these things trying to emulate and reproduce that.
That's true.
You know, but when you speak about indigenous people, when you choose to represent indigenous people, you're able to, you know, bring the carbon, and then you show the copy, and you know, you see the difference. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just what it is, you know.
How would you define indigenous people? Or what would you consider indigenous people?
I feel, and that's a beautiful question right there, because it becomes way more than the accessory. You know, it's way more than the color of your skin. It's way more than
an accessory. When you said, I'm sorry to cut you off, but when you said that, I was thinking about literal accessory.
Accessory,
when you talk about the spirit, the spirit, and then what the spirit's in is accessory.
Yeah, and like with the accessory comes, you know, the character.
Yeah, it's windy outside. It's crazy out here.
I'm telling you, even the ancestors know. They're like, nah, I can't, you know.
Fire going on right now.
Yeah. There's a lot.
Oh, that's what's going on. Okay.
Going on outside there.
This one gonna go up there. And there's a lot of energy around this.
Yeah, the fire is hot right now. To affirm once again, you know, like for me to say like, what does an indigenous person look like? You know what an indigenous person feels like. And I think like, because right now we in a time where like anyone could, like the characterization is available at a store near you. You know what I'm saying? But I think the reality is there's a feeling that still exists, and you're reminded of it every day you interact with nature, or every day you take a moment to acknowledge your breath or your heartbeat. That same feeling that where you can like put your shoulders down, let go of your jaw, you know what I'm saying? Really just like center into yourself. That's the feeling of like indigeneity. It's the feeling of being comfortable in your space. And when you see indigenous people, there's a level of comfort they have because of the knowing of their origins, you know, opposed to a lot of people are really tense because they know that they claim a place that ain't necessarily, you know what I'm saying? So it's like there's a calmness that you can feel in an indigenous person because of the thoughts that are processing in their mind that they have to ground them to the land, you know what I'm saying? And that like that's really all I could say, because like I said, it's an aesthetic that you can purchase it in the time that we're in right now, but the feeling itself is it definitely comes from within, and every person will carry that in their own way, you know? Because for me to be like, oh, someone who's a white-skinned person can't be indigenous, they're indigenous to somewhere on
That's
the
true
world.
though.
Everyone's indigenous to somewhere on the world, you know?
I like how you said the mindset, the thought connects you to the land.
That's the
your
part
perspective,
of it.
it's your reality,
your
your
perception of your existence too. You know, some people are existing in, like, even for say, like, for simple example, like Christianity, when they're like, oh, your birth is a sin. A lot of people live their reality with the perception that them even being there is not right. There's something wrong with that. You know, so simple things like that, opposed to an indigenous person that isn't moving from no Catholicism or no biblical, they're not going to be feeling like, oh,
They're a burden to reality.
you know what I'm saying? They're like, oh, actually, this land needs me to exist. You know what I'm saying? So
that's a crazy nuance you brought up in like origin story yourself. Yeah. But I noticed a difference in people who think they're a burden to life. And folks who believe that life and themselves are a gift to each other. It's a real different reality.
It's so different. That's so real. And they're existing parallel to each other every day.
Yeah.
You know? Someone that feels that way. And it's almost like, because someone feels that way and because someone feels the other way, that's the positive and negative that allows this place to even exist. You know what I'm saying?
Both are needed.
Essentially.
And then the transformation from a negative to the positive is the journey. From that one perspective to knowing that you are a blessing to this space too.
That's it. That's it. No, that's deep. That's beautiful.
Yeah. What's his? Yeah, give thanks. What's his hat you got on?
Which one am I wearing?
The purple one with red.
I love this tam, you know. Yeah, this crown right here. You know, it's my crown chakra. The 9 ether coils in our hair, you know, is just bursting out of the crown chakra. So this is like containing my ethereal power. You know what I'm saying? I just use it to harness all of this in one space, you know, because when I let my crown out, it's just, I'm giving, you know, and receiving from all sorts, but, you know, to stay more grounded and centered sometime, I put my crown on. But
hey, you know I'm excited about this? Because the shit you be saying in the small details, is all a book of its own.
You're so funny.
So I'm even going to rewind that statement real quick. You said the 9 corals, what'd you say? It being the details, I swear I'd be around you,
Yeah.
I'd be listening, I'd be like, yeah, I gotta ask him about that one phrase you said.
Yeah.
Like, what? I got the sentence, but what that?
Yeah, man.
So tell me, but
That's
I think that's the part about your journey, and for those who don't know you yet, and for those who do know you, you spend a lot of time and space. I would call them almost in like rural, village-like environments. You feel me? Am I wrong by saying that? You feel me? Like you'll go down to South America and be in the jungle. You feel me? Chilling.
Yeah, like
everybody's not doing that.
I'm in the community. I think that's
okay.
Like,
do you
really,
go?
I'm on the ground. You know. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on the field.
For real.
I'm on the field. Like I'm a striker. Like I'm scoring goals for our generation. You know what I'm saying? So I have to be definitely, from my whole vision of travels has been just not being a tourist or just going somewhere and just integrating into the community as if I was already there. But I just have that presence, you know? I just come through and I bless up everything. I give thanks. I connect ones and ones. I come with a certain energy that I feel like after I'm there for 3 days, we already know each other.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's authentic.
And once I realized that, I was like, I can't like harness or contain that or not let that out. Like if I have that in me to want to connect with the world and to be socially adaptable and to be in new spaces and just exist in a way as if I was already there, it's just something that felt really natural to me. So yeah, I really do be in those spaces because it feels a part of my mission is to surrender to the idea that no, I'm a part of this, you know? Because it's so easy for you to get somewhere and be like, am I not a part of this? But the surrender that I did when I was, when I committed to this work, when I livicated myself to the devotion of this work, I was like, yo, I'm a part of everything. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter where I am, as long as I give thanks and I contribute and share how and when I can intuitively, then I feel like that's my gift to travel and share with the world, But yeah, man, it's a beautiful place to be in certain parts of the world and have your energy take you to like the secret part of that space. Like I'll meet people, and then just because of the connection, like, let me show you in the back room real quick. Next thing you know, I'm in that little alley downstairs in the next room, and I was like, how did I get here? But it's not about how did I get here. It's more like, isn't this what you said you already wanted? And because of that subconscious programming that I told myself I've already want that, I end up in spaces where my body's still catching up to like, yo, how did this? But then my mind already is like, this is what you've been like in your thoughts and your manifestations, and so you already, like those things can be really interesting because when I was a bit younger, I'm in Toronto, it's cold, I'm in the ice, and I was just like, yo, I want to go live in the jungle. I was born in Canada. Like, why I want to go live in the jungle? And then when I get to the jungle, I don't know how to live in the jungle. I was just so excited to want to be there. You know what I'm saying? And I had to go and realize that you have to really, you just have to surrender to the things that you may not think you can do, or the things that were, put in play to make you feel like what your limitations could be, Yeah, let me just seal it up on that.
No, don't seal it up on that. I mean, you can seal it up on that if you want to. But I like where you're leading to, because it'd be so many layers in the conversation.
There's a lot. Yeah. I have so many things I want to share, but I'm also like, I'm gonna just ramble off into my mind.
But this is where we're going though. I wanted to build this platform for particularly interview you, because I'm like, just let it out, because it'd be so great, it'd be so dope.
Yeah.
But one thing you said though was like, I like how I want to backtrack it real quick. I think for somebody out there listening who's on a journey to where life feels like it's doing it to you and you're not in collaboration with it, something you said may like spark a little bit of like resistance in their mind if they haven't reached that level of thought yet. You said when you go to these places and you're accepted into these like secret spaces in these places, your body may be there. Your body may be questioning why are you there, but it's something your mind had decided already.
Yeah, that's
what's the mechanics behind that? What's the idea behind that? What's the thought process behind that?
Yo, give thanks. That's a real question, because it's something I've been reasoning with a lot lately with some elders too. It's that same surrender that I spoke about that comes a lot with the subconscious mind, and I feel like you have your mind, that inner voice. Everybody got that little voice in their head that they be speaking to and consoling with. I feel like you got that little voice in your head, which is your mind or whatever, and then you got your body, and your mind tells you the things you want to do and you go and do them. There's certain things your mind wants to do, but your body don't do them because you have your morals, you have your values, you have certain things in play that, and then I feel that same thing comes with manifestation, like the things you thinking about and the realities in which you want to create for yourself, just those thoughts alone are already creating that. But for your body and for you to meet up with that in real time, that's when once again, the surrender, and also a lot to do with the shadow work of like being honest with yourself, accepting yourself, admitting to yourself, and having that space within yourself where you can, once again, surrender, so that when you do now moving forward, your thoughts and your mind can align. And that when they say like, oh, mind, body, and soul, all of that stuff, it's aligning yourself with the thoughts that you be having as your reality. Because, you go into a place, you're like, random analogy, a day at the beach, you're already envisioning this day being like, I'm gonna be sunny, everything's gonna be a certain way. If you get there and those things are not like that, your mind was already there, but now your body catch up and it's trying to figure out, well, how do I experience this reality the way I had it in my mind? You know what I'm saying? And I think that has a lot to do with what I was saying about the subconscious mind being something that you can speak to yourself about wanting to activate, but unless you've taken that time to have that introspective comfort with yourself, it's really hard for you to like align those two things. You know what I'm saying?
With what you want and what you're about to experience?
Yeah, because your body is going to listen to your thoughts. You know what I'm saying? If you going through somewhere and you thinking, well, what if I can't? Or what if it don't work? Or it might not, you already didn't make it. You already didn't make it. You know what I'm saying? Because your subconscious mind and your body was not in alignment. But if you going through somewhere and you already like, I'm already there, everything's already happened, everything's smooth, everything's natural, I'm good, I'm great, then your mind and your body can actually align with that. You know what I'm saying? But if, like I said, if your mind is thinking, I don't know if I can, but your body's still trying to go there, it's like your body, you already told your body you don't know if you can, but you know, your body can't listen to that until they in alignment.
That's
you
real.
know what I'm saying? So
it's like,
I hope I
you close
that right.
No, you did, and it's like you close the perceptual gap to you close off your perception to things too. When you say the moment you start to doubt yourself, you start to see the doubt. You know what I mean?
And you'll create that because even something you don't want. And I've had this. There's been times I was like, yo, I really hope this doesn't happen. And that's what happened because I spent a week thinking about just that. And then I was like, well, I didn't once think like, if I don't want it to happen, then why am I even thinking about it?
That's some real talk.
I don't even gotta let it be a thought if I know it's not gonna happen, you know what I'm saying? But it's like you thinking and trying to ask for it not to happen is like you've already affirmed that it's coming. You know what I'm saying?
That's real.
That's kind of like, yeah.
I think about this podcast today. We had booked this time last week, where Alex hit me today and was like, Dom, when we recording again? And I was like tired. I had an interesting business day. You feel me? Just like straight up, like contracts not renewed. I'm figuring shit out. You feel me? Telling the team, breaking into the team, whoopty whoop, and my mind was like, a part of my mind was like, a part of the reality I was dealing with in the moment that had nothing to do with this podcast is like, yo, I'm like doing shit after this conversation.
Word.
And I almost gave in to that.
You sent me the message.
Yeah.
Still coming, and I was like,
yeah.
I was like, I'm gonna be there at 5.
That was me trying to cop out a little bit, yo. Maybe he don't want to right now.
Let me just see if he's still me next time.
Good. I'm like, I could just chill today, you know what I mean? So, but
because he was like, you want to come today or you want to do another day? And I was like,
I'm giving him ways out. I'm like, yo, you cannot do it today if you don't want to. But I think about my intention for myself in the past at the end of the year, which is really manifesting in a crazy way. You might have got this back for me. Alex is ready. My intention for myself, I said, yo, God, cut the fat and give me and only leave what's for my alignment. And in that conversation, what came was like, yo, I'm going to give you everything you wanted through your gifts and not through, this sounds interesting, but the nuances, it wasn't going to come through service, it was going to come through expression. And the expression was going to serve. So sometimes I'm inverted, where I'm like, I'm gonna give to everybody, and then like I'm the last thing. You know what I'm saying? But the what I'm hearing in this moment, I'm abiding by and following this moment is like, yo, your gifts is gonna give you everything that you ever thought you had to work super hard for. You know what I mean? So in knowing that this podcast and a couple of other projects I'm working on is the door I'm walking through.
Right.
I know this is what I'm supposed to be doing today, but my physical experience at the time was when I was dealing with like having to solve issues and really work and really think about finances and really, you know what I mean? I had to. So I'm glad that you said you were still coming. I'm glad Alex was like, yo, we when we recording again, you know what I mean? And I think that's like.
Okay, that made it happen for real.
That made it happen for real, you know what I mean? Even though the reality was feeling a certain kind of way, the mind was made up. But it was still a way. But that's the way. That's the way God and the universe work, though. Where it's like, yo, you say you're gonna do something, the option to not do it will always be there. That's the choice. That's the freedom.
And that's when you commune, or you really get to reasoning with that little voice I'm talking about inside your head. That's the moment where you're just like, you sit there with yourself. You're just like, so we doing this or what? Like, is this what are we committed to this? And you have
are we
that
committed
moment,
to this?
You know what I'm saying?
Yo,
that's the energy.
Yeah. You inspired heavily my goal for my eating habits.
Thanks, Lion.
Yeah.
Lion pop.
No, for real. It's like we met like 4 years ago.
I was gonna maybe 4 or 5. But I remember the day we bust down the jackfruit at my spot. I knew something happened in that moment where I was like, yo, Dom about to go right now.
Let me tell you, I never knew that jackfruit was this fucking good. My man bust out just a raw jackfruit. I've only had jackfruit from Trader Joe's in a can. You feel me? To this day, to that day, I was like, yo, you could just eat jackfruit like that? He was like, what are you talking about? I was like, I've only had jackfruit from the can at Trader Joe's. So you come out with this vibrant fruit like a fat baby. This joint is big, homie. I'm like, you just gonna eat raw jackfruit? And you looked at me like I was stupid. I'm looking at you like you was stupid. I'm like, this dude crazy. One of the best fruits I ever had. I didn't know jackfruit, it sounds stupid, was actually a fruit.
He's like, why they call this veggie jackfruit? Why they call this joint?
I didn't know it had
Why
a
they call
color
this
to
damn
it.
vegetable
Yo,
jackfruit?
oh, everything, bro. I only had.
They called it that. You thinking?
Yo, so you inspired to what I'm eating, and you was like, I'm like, yo, and then over time you cooked at Kinfolk.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
You had a whole, I would have called it veggie at that point in time, but ital.
Yeah,
you had a whole ital menu.
Yep.
I think I knew of the rosters and how they eat, and it was veggie based, but I didn't know what the name was. You feel me? So I think another piece of your life experience I just want to pull out real quick. What'd you have to eat today?
What did I eat today? Well, yesterday was Ethiopian Christmas, so I had a little bit leftovers from my Ethiopian from yesterday.
That's good.
I love the Ethiopian food. Everyone should definitely try it. It's very ancient food, food
it is,
that
though.
has been around, that recipe, that's that energy and tradition for a very long time. So what else did I have today? I had I'm about to big up my homies. And I'm Chef Plenty, so I definitely be chefing. But because I just got back to LA, I've been pulling up on my homies who got vegan restaurants and, getting the vibe. So shout out Vegans, man. Shout out
Vegans?
Yeah, Vegans in Inglewood, man.
I never heard of this one.
Them, they do me right. Today I had the king oyster mushroom Alfredo pasta. I had
with cheese? You had cheese today?
Oh, no, all I talk. Nice
I
cashew
you.
cheese they make, beautiful. And all the sauces made from scratch, all spelt pastas. Excuse me. I had a chickpea tuna sandwich that they do. So good. The juices that they do, I had the strawberry guava sea moss. I had the mango soursop tamarind sea moss. Look at those flavors, fam.
Yeah. Mango, tamarind,
soursop with the sea moss in it. Yeah, vegans.
You got it up?
You finna pull up. Those is the bros, man.
I'm going tomorrow. I might hit you up. We might bust a move.
Homies, for real.
Okay.
The options that they have, and it's like, you pull up and you might be like, yo, we in the hood, we in Inglewood, what's going on? But it's just like, even more better reason to have that there, because it giving people another access point, another option to really tap in and learn a little bit. They got their recipes there in case you want to learn a little bit of something to take home. So yeah, but that's really today. I had the chickpea tuna, the oyster mushroom pasta. It was really nice. Had some juices, got me, and then I just came over here. Had my oatmeal on the rising, my oats porridge. Hemp seed, pumpkin seeds, chia. I did some grits in there. We did agave, maca. I put a little bit of sea moss in there too, just to But no, that's what keep me right
That's
though.
a solid menu.
It's the energy too, you know. It's something.
Why you eat like that? There you go. Why you eat like that?
I'm already in ritual, you know. It's 16 years I've been eating like this, so it's something. I love the curiosity that it still feeds me. Like, oh, I get to try something new, or the ability to continue to find new ways to make tastes that you love. Like, there's a lot of things that I was like, oh, I'm not gonna eat those things again. I don't really do mock meat or nothing like, but you know, like a lasagna or some sort. Like, I'll still be making different kinds of lasagnas and different type of stuff, because as long as I can make my own kind of cheese and, you know, just make my own little, what do you call them? Them flat pieces of pasta. But they call them, I don't know if they got a certain
It's called
name.
lasagna. That's
Okay,
what lasagna
that's the
is.
name of that
The
pasta.
name, yeah. I think so.
I just been exploring making those with different flours, and that's been really cool. You know what I'm saying? Just
That's
seeing what it's like to
interesting.
make, and
That's interesting. Like, what kind of flours?
I use spelt flour is a good one.
I never heard of spelt flour before.
Spelt flour.
That's like a sprout?
Spelt is a grain. Yeah, spelt is a grain. I've used amaranth flour.
Never heard of that one. What's amaranth?
Amaranth is another grain.
Okay, all grain.
Because these are grains that I usually use to do like rice substitute. So if you want to do some wild rice, but then you got like millet, amaranth, fonio, quinoa. You know, those are your essential, like couscous. Those would be your essential mix. But then I sprout a lot of lentils, a lot of beans. I do a lot of mushrooms, a lot of ground foods.
What's ground foods?
Like all the
roots, like potatoes and stuff?
Yeah, all the sweet potatoes, the yam, the dasheen, all that stuff that comes from
Never heard of dasheen.
earth soil. It's more Caribbean. I've been juicing a lot of my greens consistently forever. A lot of cellular hydration, coconut water, seeded watermelon juice instead of just
cellular hydration.
Yeah.
What's that?
Just to keep your, like the regular water that's in the tap ain't really necessarily gonna hydrate your body. It may kind of like put liquid in your body, but you know what I'm saying in terms of like the actual hydration. Want me to get into
you go into
the
it.
science of it, but I feel like it's like the natural glucose levels and the natural alkalinity of those fruits is what allows your body to have that cellular recharge that it needs. And
at a cell level, literally a cell level.
Yeah, like your actual body's, you know, genetic influence can be interacted with when you're having things that are coming directly from the source, opposed to having something that's gone through the process, like the waters and
word. Cause that's important. A differentiating factor, like coming straight from the source versus something that's processed.
That part, yeah.
And I feel like everything you said about your diet, for the most part, there wasn't a heavy level of processed foods.
Right, yeah. And if the process is happening, it's us doing the processing. Like, you know, you taking a banana and dehydrating it and then crushing it in making the flour. I'm making banana flour.
I've never heard about banana flour. That sounds like some good stuff, though.
Yeah, well, that flour out of anything, you know, anything.
Because flour just dried up something that's...
Yeah, I was just going to say, because when I had when the same time you tried the jackfruit, I used to take a lot of my fruits or different things and just dehydrate everything. And then, you know, you can either dehydrate certain things till they get to a certain crisp and then just mash them up in the flour. And then from there, you make it muffins, cakes, bread, pizzas, dough. You just make whatever you want, you know.
That's crazy.
You juice all your fruits and then you take all the pulp from that. You make more bread, cupcakes, all those types from just the fibers of everything you juiced.
The flour the white flour that we eat.
I don't.
Where's that come from?
I ain't in that we.
Yeah.
No, we don't eat that. No.
You said the white flour you eat.
No.
Damn, because I'm like, I don't even know what flour that came from. Or what dehydrated.
White flour?
Yeah, what?
Probably just comes from...
It's probably made up.
You know what? I was going to say at this point, there's probably so many different things that they make it from. You know what I'm saying? At this point, I haven't had no white flour since I was like, I don't know. So I'm like, I don't even know I've like cut certain things out of my mind. Like I just don't even know what that.
Yeah,
Don't get from the meat. It's just bleach.
I was just about to say it's
okay.
Probably just like something that's being bleached, you know, with titanium or something.
Okay,
like that.
okay, that makes sense. Now this is interesting. So I feel like something I was trying to get to, which I think you got to when you said coming from the source. I think a term I've heard you use before, and it's been on your clothes and some of your art, is life force energy.
Oh yeah, that's it. That's that.
And when you say life force energy, what do you?
I feel like that's another reference for, you know, something that like the mana, the same mana.
Yeah.
You know, just that same current that exists in life and things that are alive. Like that same thing that pumps the blood flow, that the heartbeat, the boost you get from like any interaction and connection with someone or something, you know,
life force energy.
Yeah, it's that life force energy. It's like the current that reminds you that you're alive. You know what I'm saying? Like
Somebody reading a book
breath
by Ra Man, and it was his third edition.
I do.
Yep. And he likened, I never heard anybody do this before, he likened life force energy to the Holy Spirit or the Holy Ghost in Christianity. And you know, sometimes in ancient traditions or indigenous traditions, the connectivity to more modern religions is like that. That influence is not always, the connection isn't there, you know what I mean? And he was like, yo, Ra, life force energy, chi, mana, like Holy Ghost, Holy Spirit. These are synonyms of the same energy.
They're all the supreme oneness, right?
All the supreme oneness pushing through, you know what I mean?
Naturally, yeah.
Yeah, naturally. And I was like, oh, that's a good.
I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that. That pattern you see in my art, the hieroglyphics, there, right? That same pattern right there. For me, that's a visual experience for energy. That's what energy looks like. To me, if you were to ask me to say like, what does the energy that's in between and around everything look like to you? If you could, you know, give it an image, give it a visual.
You give this image.
That's the visual that I get. And I think just that alone is something that you see everywhere in the sacred geometry, you know, like, or, you know, when you just cut open a fruit and then it's got that pattern inside of it, the cabbage.
Or even the skin, how the skin be having the pattern in it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That Fibonacci, that spiral that you be seeing, you know, like all of those are like visual representations of life force energy. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, like for sure.
What's you know, I was talking to her on the homegirl today. She called me randomly. She was part of the team with this contract that was not renewed, and she was like, "Yo, you good, Dom?" And I was like, "Yeah, I'm good." I was like, I see everything as necessary. You know what I mean? Even if I can't understand what's next, you know what I mean? I just assume it was needed. You know? And I was like, kind of leave stuff there, you know? And then she said, you know, a lot of people are struggling right now. And in my head, I'm like, it's the new year. The energy feels a little vibrant, at least towards the end of the year. It feels like, woo! Then I forget, once you get into the new year or a new beginning, you have expectations of what it's going to be. In the reality, the party's done. In the reality of like, oh shit, I'm back in regular life. You know what I mean? Like, it kind of settles in. So I guess, I bring it up to say, over the last year, you've been at LA for 2 years almost.
Yeah.
You know, what has been some of the like, what has life taught you in these last 2 years that's preparing you for whatever life pattern you're going through in this season of fresh start? You know.
Beautiful question. I give thanks. You know.
Yeah. I could paraphrase you, need to.
No, that's good. I've learned so much, Dom.
I believe it.
So
I believe it.
Man.
You've been on a journey. You know, you've been on this whole other country.
This last year, just 2024, I went to like 9 countries, you know, and just like building in every country I get to, I feel like I'm starting such big project, or, you know, lifelong connect, just starting things, you know, so that alone allows me to have to apply like a different version of myself every time. So what I've realized is like, I'll be in one country in a certain setting and experience. Beginning of the year was, and I'm in Ivory Coast, I'm in Africa, just having a show with the Cup of Nations, you know, the soccer tournament happening, everything. And then the next day I'm in Paris, and then the next day I'm in Morocco, and now I'm back in Toronto. Now I'm in Mexico for the solstice. Now I'm back in Toronto. Now I'm in Costa Rica painting a mural for the president. Now I'm back in Mexico working on a skate video. I'm in Jamaica facilitating plant medicine ceremony. I'm in Colombia working with the Indigenous family out there. Back in LA, I'm about to go to South Africa next month. I was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel in my mind like I gotta be so many different people. And I think what I've learned the most is, and it sounds so cliche, but just being like the simplest version of myself is what's gonna like just give me the most and get me the furthest, because the more I meet people and the more things I'm doing, it's me myself who puts this pressure or puts this, I give myself these positions of being like, well, now you gotta take on, now you have this responsibility, or now, you know, you wanna commit to this connection that you've made. Like, you make such a strong connection with some elders, some youth and family, and then you leave the next day and you make a whole nother strong connection. And then you're like, how do I allow myself to be present energetically in a way that I can reciprocate to all these places, you know? And the best way for me to do that is to like give the simplest, most honest version of myself, instead of being in these places like, oh, because I'm here, I have to do this or I have to do that, you know? That's kind of what I told you the other day, just about like our simplest ideas are actually gonna always be more than enough for the collective and for anyone that's in support of us, because what they're looking for is the consistency, right? And like what's simple, you can produce more of what's simple and natural to you.
True.
But what's more complex and what takes you to have to think not more, but just think deeper outside of what's natural to you, that takes longer and allows you to produce less, and how it makes you less consistent, you know? So I think what I've learned the most is like the simplest, most honest, purest version of me will and has gotten me the farthest in my life, you know what I'm saying? And that's what I got.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah,
Because sometimes we can,
I be trying to do the most, or think that I have to do the most. You know what I'm saying? And like, sometimes your simplest is the most. Remember that, you know, because what's simple to you is, you know, to someone else it can be a strength, you know. But so don't just like. Sometimes I'm like, nah, that's too simple. It's like, if I just make a recipe on how I made my porridge this morning, I'm like, I can't do that. That's too simple.
That's what somebody needed.
That's all my auntie needed. That's all my cousin needed. My family would have been able to eat differently if I just shared that one little. But to me, I'm like, green juice, that's just a green juice to me. I'm not gonna, you know, but you know, there's some people that you don't get to connect with a certain way, and sometimes you just sharing the most simplest, honest versions of yourself is such a strength and contribution to other ones, just, you know? Yeah, that's what I got, man.
That's what I got. That's what I got.
That's what I got.
Malcolm, what's 2025 holding for you as far as your projects, as far as things that we can look forward to, like catching you on, as far as like just simply being able to follow the knowledge, the wisdom, the you being simple? How can we be witness to you being simple?
Oh.
Oh.
Wait, what you mean? Like
how can we? What's going on with you? What you doing? I know you gotta go to South Africa.
Oh, I'm doing so much. I don't wanna. I'm existing intentionally where I need to be, and just providing honest offerings to the collective wherever I am. I'm just in a very solid, firm, grounded state of knowing of my mission and my position on the grid and my position in community, and I'm gonna do my part. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna be everywhere that I need to be, sharing this work, activating, you know, new ideas, new perspectives in the collective, being living proof of a lot of the ideas that people want, you know, to activate. I'm gonna be the living, like, they're gonna see me and be like, oh, okay, well, we can do that now, you know? I'm gonna be that, oh, because he did it, we could do it now type, you know? And I'm able, man, I'm just gonna say it. I'm actually gonna, like, flex this year. My bad. Like, I've been really humble for a long time. And whoever's watching this right now, I know you thought I was just chilling and that I didn't want to do certain things because of this royal character, wasn't going to be in those spaces, but y'all going to see me because God is everywhere, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, even in the places you thought I wasn't going to be there, I'm not going to be there in those ways, but I'm going to be there in ways that I need to be. You know what I'm saying? And I'm omnipresent, and the way my art is flowing out of me, I'm going to exist in places without even me having to physically be there. You know, it's just the energy and momentum of the message that is attached to me. That's a universal vision. There's a reflection of it right here, right there, right in there. So it's just, you know, it's happening anywhere and everywhere, but you're gonna see more of this, you know what I'm saying? This joy, this happiness, this comfort. And when y'all see me activating these works around the world and I look so comfortable and happy, it's because that's how these works need to be done. It's not going to be done in labor. It's not going to be done in stress. It's not going to be done in pain and panic or fear. It's going to be done in joy, abundance, and knowing. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yes, sir.
Hey, for years we've known you and I both were meant to give ourselves in the most simple way, but sometimes just conversation.
Yeah, man.
So I'm extremely honored you came through the compound today.
Yes,
I'm very grateful for the community you put around us too when you came here to LA.
Yes.
You wrapped us around. You wrapped beautiful people around us. You like, oh, I see you. You need to know this person.
Right.
Y'all need to know Dom and Jim. And there's people we still kicking with to this day.
Yes, sir.
4 years later, and they come and they're a family of ours. You know what I mean?
For real.
So I thank you for putting a layer of friendship around us and kinship around us.
Yes, sir.
That exists even when you're not here. You feel me?
Sir.
We asked people at Kinfolk last time. Somebody said, "How do we all know each other?" And like 30% of people said, "Malcolm." Malcolm told me about you guys. You feel me? So like, much love, much respect to you. Yo, Malcolm, I got a great level of respect for the way you live and the way you think and the way you move and the person you are. You know what I mean? So just thank you.
For real. Love-wise, man.
Yeah, love-wise.
Brotherhood's very important to me, you know? It's worth more than silver and gold in this time, you know? It's real brotherhood. So just remember that, you know? Regardless, I'm grateful that we got to share these talks, but we really be talking real time, you know what I'm saying? And like, it's very important to have a space where you can reflect different versions of yourself.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To see different versions of ourselves in each other.
That's
you know
true.
what I'm saying? So
that's true. And you spoke so much life over my son before he was here. That was just like special. Every time you call, you know what I mean? You say, how's the Starseed doing?
Yeah, just checking in. Right?
How's the Starseed doing? What's up with Starseed?
Yeah, man.
I'm like,
sure.
And I remember the first time I heard that word from him, like, Starseed. I'm like, yeah, that is a Starseed. That's exactly what he is.
That's exactly what they are, man.
Exactly what it is. But thank you, brother, for coming down.
To be here, man. So grateful to be present with you.
Yeah, me too, brother. Peace.
For sure.
Yeah.
We locked in.